Hi guys, welcome to a new video. My name is Savanna Stanhope, and today I wanted to talk about a couple comments that I've gotten on my Facebook post that I put out a couple days ago relating to the video that I filmed on why I'm no longer vegan, and then a follow-up video explaining what kind of foods I'm now eating on a more or less paleo kind of diet. So I'm avoiding grains, beans, and nuts and seeds even to a certain extent, and just focusing on meat, vegetables, and fruit. So I got a couple comments that I wanted to respond to because I think they're really important to talk about. And they're relating to IBS and some people's experience healing IBS on a plant-based diet. And so I've gotten a lot of feedback from people kind of confused and perplexed why a plant-based diet didn't work for me and my IBS symptoms. Because I got a couple comments saying, hey, I had terrible IBS symptoms before I went vegan and now they're all gone. I'm feeling a whole lot better. I just don't understand how you can be feeling better, eating animal products, having meat and eggs and fish in your diet again. So I wanted to talk about this because it certainly came as a surprise to me, because I actually had the experience of improving my symptoms when I first went on a vegan diet. So a little bit about my history with IBS. I've had celiac disease. I was diagnosed at 15, so I've potentially had it my whole life. Was diagnosed at 15 after just dealing with a bunch of digestive issues. And so it started out, kind of just not being able to digest food properly, having a lot of bloating, a lot of pain, a sensation of there being like glass in my stomach, just extremely painful. And then, having issues like going to the bathroom normally, either having like extreme diarrhea or just not going to the bathroom at all, having constipation. So that was what I dealt with from the time I was 12, 13 years old. 15, I was diagnosed with celiac disease. And then around 18, 19, I found a plant-based diet. And at first, it really, really helped my symptoms because up until that point, I was pretty scared of food. I didn't know what foods worked for me, what foods would cause issues. And so I was, got into this really bad cycle of not eating anything like throughout the day, trying to push off eating, and then eating something in the evening, and then my head just being like, oh, food, I need more food, and then having like every food in sight, basically, just like, going into the fridge and just wiping it out. So that is not a way I would suggest to heal from IBS. And so a vegan diet kind of got me eating normal meals again and trusting food again. And so in that way it did help. And I was on a vegan diet for between 5 and 6 years, and just recently started to basically turn my diet completely on its head and not eat so many plants anymore, but really prioritize animal foods and prioritize foods like grass-fed beef, salmon, some eggs. I have some issues with eggs still, so I don't have them often, and not very much dairy at all, just basically basic meats, fish, and vegetables and fruits. So it's a very, very simple paleo style diet. But when it comes to IBS and people that are dealing with IBS symptoms and wondering how they can help themselves, how they can avoid these symptoms, it really is individual. And so I don't want anybody getting the wrong idea from my video saying that, this paleo approach is the only way that you can heal IBS, because it's not. And it's all very personal. So there's different types of IBS. There's, different causes of it. So my cause, as far as I can guess, would be celiac disease and the damage it did to my small intestine. And I've also had issues in my stomach and different bacterial infections causing ulcers and affecting the way my stomach produces acid. Some people can start to have IBS symptoms because of antibiotic use, or an autoimmune disease, or eating foods that just your body personally has an allergic reaction to and it causes inflammation. Eating foods that are very high in inflammatory oils, oils like omega-6. And sugar, very inflammatory. And then food allergies, people can be intolerant to certain grains, not even just gluten, but, just certain chemicals in foods that your body decides are foreign and that it doesn't like and that it doesn't want you to eat anymore. So it's a very complicated disease, and I think the sense that I get, the experience I had in the medical world being treated for my symptoms, is that IBS is a diagnosis that a lot of doctors will just give you when they're not sure what is causing your issues. It's just it's a very blanket term. And some people can do a lot better on a plant-based diet because maybe their body struggles to produce enough stomach acid to break down complex proteins, and they do much better on a lower protein kind of diet. Or just the fact that tough meat, overcooked meat can be difficult to digest. Also, dairy intolerance is a big thing. A lot of people are intolerant to dairy and they just don't realize it, or they just don't want to give up cheese and ice cream and the good stuff like that. But for sure, a plant-based diet can help a lot of people. Maybe someone isn't getting enough fiber in their diet and they're having trouble going to the bathroom, and increasing the amount of raw vegetables and fiber in general can really help speed up digestion and get them going to the bathroom regularly. Or maybe somebody has a form of IBS that causes them to have more of a spastic colon, and just it upsets really easily and then causes diarrhea. You're trying to live your life, and throughout the day you're just finding yourself always having to go to the bathroom, a big inconvenience, and sometimes that comes with a lot of pain. And so having some soluble fiber, having some grains and potatoes and things that are they've got this nice gelatinous, smooth, slow fiber can really help calm down the digestive system, slow things down. Another person with IBS may be sensitive to certain molecules in foods that have a high potential of producing gas and irritating the colon. And so a lot of the time dietitians will put people with IBS on a low FODMAPs diet. So this reduces things that can trigger gas and bloating, like onions and garlic and certain grains and certain fruits, with sugar alcohols. So sometimes people struggle eating foods like that. It's just we're all across the board. IBS has no, one set of symptoms or one cause. And so I'm just, I had to put out that video and had to share the way that I've been feeling trying these different foods out in my diet, because it's actually helped my particular set of symptoms. And I know I'm not the only one out there with my set of symptoms. Other people have told me in comments and reached out to me saying, I have the exact same story as you do, word for word, I go through the same things and I've struggled with this for years. And so I think that's the importance of sharing your story and sharing what you've done. So I appreciate you guys, being concerned and basically telling me that you've been able to heal your IBS through a vegan diet. I'm so freaking happy for you. That is amazing. And but it's just not going to work for everybody. I've tried so many different variations of a plant-based diet and I've never felt as good as I feel right now. And that's all I have to go on. I can try to pick apart all the reasons why this could be helping. And I do like to do that privately in my own head, but I don't know if it's the most, I just don't know if it's worth my time to do that, because in the end, the only thing that matters is the fact that I'm feeling better. You know, like that's what's important to me. You know, I want to eat in a sustainable way. That's another thing that's important to me. But first and foremost, I think we do have to prioritize our health. We're all so different. There's no one size fits all answer for IBS. And I am so grateful, for the particular diet that's helping me right now. And, you know, I totally understand why somebody would comment and say, a vegan diet, was the cure for me, and to pass that on to other people, because that's also important. I totally believe that for some people with a particular set of symptoms, a plant-based diet can be super helpful. You should definitely explore all different types of programs, because it's just really important. You don't want to be feeling crappy, you don't want to be not prioritizing your health. Like, it's really important to start narrowing down what your sensitivities can be and eating a simple diet. Like, I think that's one of the major things that has helped me, is just really narrowing down, like, and not eating exciting food, eating boring meals, meat and vegetables and fruit if I feel like something sweet. It's not exciting vegan food. I don't like and love the taste of meat or anything, but I think it's just because of the basicness of these foods that it's really been helping me and taking away my triggers, which seem to be beans and grains and a lot of starchy foods in general, and then just eating foods that my body seems to like. And so if you're struggling with IBS, I would encourage you to start a food diary, start recording the foods that you're eating and how you're feeling up to 2 to 3 days later after you eat them. Like, your digestive system takes time to process food, so sometimes you're not going to get an upset stomach right after you eat something. Maybe it's going to be a couple hours later. Maybe it's going to be the next day. You're just feeling really off and you don't know why. Look at that food diary and see what you ate and try to narrow it down. Unfortunately, I've realized from having this disease, from having this health issue, that it just does require a lot of time and a lot of patience, a lot of trial and error, and unfortunately a lot of stomach pain, a lot of symptoms. So it sucks, but people get over it. I'm getting over it. I'm getting better. And if there's anything that I can do to help somebody else in the same situation, I'm going to do it, because that makes me feel good to know that I'm helping someone. And I know that other people talking about how they've gotten over this, and in particular how a paleo diet has helped them, is just, it's made me realize so many things and made so many things click in my head and got me on a path of really trying to only eat the foods that make me feel great, and let the other foods kind of just like take a break from my diet, basically. So if you guys have any other questions, please keep commenting, and it gives me ideas to make videos, and if I can answer any of your questions, then I will try my best to. Anyways, I hope you're having a great day, and we'll see you soon. Bye.